Chapter 1, The Hike. Under the azure sky of a picture-perfect morning, our tightly knit group of lifelong friends set out on an exhilarating hiking expedition through the sprawling wilderness enveloping our quaint town. The promise of lush scenery and uncharted trails fueled our excitement. With laughter echoing through the crisp air, we marched forward with backpacks packed and hearts brimming with anticipation. Chapter 2, The Hidden Discovery. Amidst the rustling leaves and the symphony of birdsong, our path led us to a hidden alcove sheltered beneath towering trees. There, nestled against the hillside, was a yawning cave entrance, a mystifying invitation to unveil its secrets. Despite the unease that tickled at the edges of our minds, our thirst for adventure propelled us to step into the shadows of the unknown. Chapter 3, The Chilling Descent. Inside the cave, a realm of darkness and cool, damp air greeted us. Our footsteps echoed, each sound swallowed by the yawning depths of the cavern. As our eyes adjusted to the eerie twilight, the walls seemed to twist and contort, creating an illusion of movement. The earthy scent mixed with an unsettling tang, and the walls seemed to breathe as if the cave itself was alive. Chapter 4, The Unearthly Encounter. In the heart of the cave, a spectral glow illuminated a vast chamber. Gossamer forms materialized before us, their translucent figures radiating an ethereal luminescence. Their eyes, pools of light, held within them a profound sadness that touched a chord deep within our hearts. Our breath caught, a primal fear taking root as the apparitions encircled us, an insurmountable barrier between us and the way we had entered. Each gesture, each movement, seemed to be a desperate plea for understanding, and the whisper of their collective voices resonated in our minds like an eerie choir. Chapter 5, The Haunting Memories. As the spirits shared their stories, the cavern's frigid air seemed to hold us captive. They spoke of ambitions that had drawn them into this cavernous purgatory, a place that had twisted their dreams into nightmares. Their sorrowful eyes mirrored the suffering they had endured, trapped between realms, the echo of their despair reverberating through the cave like a mournful lament. With every tragic tale recounted, the shadows seemed to constrict, drawing us deeper into the haunting narrative. The line between reality and the supernatural blurred, and the air grew heavy with a sense of impending doom. Chapter 6, The Desperate Escape. Determined to escape the clutches of the haunting abyss, we scanned the chamber for any sign, any clue that might break the spectral chains. As our torchlight flickered, it revealed an ancient carving etched into the wall, a symbol that seemed to resonate with the apparition's aura. Fueled by a mix of terror and hope, we traced the symbol, our voices trembling as we repeated a plea for release. The chamber pulsed with an electric energy, the apparitions wailing in a crescendo of anguish. Then, in a blinding burst of light, the chamber's spectral glow vanished, and the apparitions dissolved into nothingness, leaving us in breathless silence. Chapter 7, The Return to Light. The oppressive grip of the cave released us, and we emerged from its mouth, greeted by the warmth of sunlight. A mingling of relief and the weight of the ordeal settled over us. As we retreated, the memory of the haunting encounter remained etched in our minds, a reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. Years have passed since that eerie day, and the memory of the cavern's haunting depths has become a part of our shared history. Our tale, whispered around campfires and recounted to those willing to listen, carries the weight of the unexplainable. The cave still rests in its hidden alcove, an enigmatic portal to a realm we could scarcely comprehend. As seasons change and the woods speak their secrets in hushed tones, we are reminded of the chilling encounter that bound us together. The apparitions may have vanished, but the impact of that harrowing day remains a part of our collective consciousness, an enduring testament to the fact that some experiences, no matter how terrifying, can shape our lives in ways beyond imagination. Chapter 1: The Midnight Venture. The moon cast an eerie glow on the woods as our group of friends ventured into the heart of nature's sanctuary. Our laughter echoed through the trees, the promise of adventure filling the air with excitement. With camping gear slung over our shoulders and flashlights cutting through the darkness, we left behind the familiar world and entered the realm of the unknown. Chapter 2: A Haunting Silence. The crunch of leaves beneath our feet seemed to amplify in the hushed stillness of the woods. A shiver traced my spine as I caught glimpses of shadowy figures dancing at the edge of my vision. An inexplicable unease settled in, but I brushed it aside, attributing it to the eerie atmosphere of the wilderness at night. As we set up our campsite, the forest around us seemed to watch, silent and watchful, as if it held secrets too dark to share. The flickering fire offered little comfort against the looming darkness that surrounded us. Chapter 3: The Sinister Murmurs. With the crackling fire as our only source of light, we huddled together, sharing stories and laughter to ward off the growing sense of unease. But beneath our laughter, there lingered a subtle undercurrent of tension. Shadows danced on the trees, their movement accompanied by faint whispers that rustled through the leaves like chilling secrets. I glanced at my friends, noticing the anxiety etched on their faces. It wasn't just my imagination, the woods held a presence that seemed to seep into our very souls. The realization that we were not alone settled over us like a cold mist. Chapter 4: The Disappearing Stars. As the night deepened, the canopy of stars above us began to fade, obscured by gathering clouds. A sense of isolation swelled within me, the woods becoming an abyss of darkness that threatened to consume us. We stoked the fire, its feeble light flickering as if in defiance against the encroaching night. With each gust of wind, I thought I heard faint footsteps approaching from the forest's depths. Anxiety gnawed at my gut as I scanned the trees, my heart pounding in rhythm with the haunting whispers that seemed to grow louder with every passing moment. Chapter 5: Lost in the Labyrinth. A decision was made to venture into the woods, seeking adventure amidst the encroaching darkness. We wandered further, guided only by the dim beams of our flashlights. The woods transformed into an endless labyrinth, the twisted trees and looming shadows swallowing us whole. Time seemed to lose meaning, and the forest became a living, breathing entity that toyed with our perceptions. Branches reached out like gnarled fingers, and the whispers of unseen voices grew into a symphony of eerie sound. Panic began to claw at the edges of my mind, and I felt the grip of the forest tightening around me. Chapter 6: The Haunting Encounter. In the heart of the woods, we stumbled upon an ancient, dilapidated cabin, its windows broken and its wooden walls worn by time. Fear clung to the air like a heavy fog, yet a strange compulsion drew us closer, as if we were being lured by forces beyond our control. As we stepped inside, a chilling wind whispered through the cracks in the walls. The room was shrouded in darkness, save for the flickering light of a lone candle. Shadows danced on the walls, and a cold dread settled over us as we realized that we were not alone. A presence, unseen yet undeniable, lingered in the air, its malevolent intent palpable. Chapter 7: A Desperate Escape. The cabin seemed to close in around us, its walls narrowing with every passing second. Panic surged, and the whispering shadows seemed to converge, forming twisted shapes that loomed over us. With our hearts racing, we fled from the cabin, the darkness of the woods swallowing us whole. Adrenaline fueled our desperate flight, the forest itself seeming to thwart our every effort to escape. We stumbled over gnarled roots and through thorny thickets, driven by a primal fear that threatened to consume us. The woods seemed to shift and warp, a surreal nightmare that twisted reality into a grotesque tableau. Epilogue: Lingering Echoes. We emerged from the woods, our breath ragged and our minds reeling from the horrors we had experienced. The night had scarred us in ways words could not capture, a relentless nightmare that had torn at the fabric of our sanity. Our once jovial group had been forever changed by the sinister forces that lurked in the heart of the woods. In the days that followed, we carried the weight of that chilling night with us, haunted by the whispers that lingered in our memories. The woods had shown us a side that defied reason, a realm of darkness and malevolence that had left an indelible mark on our souls. And as we gazed into the woods from a distance, the shadows seemed to dance and beckon, a haunting reminder that some places are best left unexplored, their secrets forever shrouded in the night.